We move on once again. Iran says it has no plans to hold talks with the United States next week, despite claims from US President Donald Trump. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says Tehran is still assessing whether talks serve its national interests. He blamed earlier breakdowns on strikes by the United States and Israel on Iran's nuclear sites. Araghchi confirmed damage to nuclear facilities was significant. He said future diplomacy will depend on those new realities. Meanwhile, Indonesia and Malaysia have urged a peaceful resolution to the Iran-Israel tensions and the ongoing Gaza crisis. Both countries called for calm and diplomatic talks to avoid escalation. Here's what the Indonesian President and Malaysian Prime Minister had to say.
Kita menyambut baik adanya gencatan senjata antara Israel dan Iran. Kita berharap ini bisa langgeng, bisa terus menuju penyelesaian yang damai.
Kita rasa lega buat sementara kerana ada ceasefire, gencatan senjata di antara Israel dan Iran. Malaysia umpamanya telah terlalu menyuarakan pandangan yang keras atas pencerobohan dan pelanggaran Israel ke atas Iran dan mendukung hak Iran untuk membalas supaya maruah, integriti, dignity negara Iran tidak tercemar.
And now to Europe, where a Russian strike has killed at least 3 people and wounded more than a dozen in Ukraine's industrial Dnipro-Petrovsk region, where Moscow has stepped up fatal bombardments. Russian forces, which invaded Ukraine in early 2022, are reportedly vying to gain a foothold in Dnipro-Petrovsk for the first time in the war. Moreover, authorities in the northern Kharkiv region reported that 1 person was killed and 3 others injured in Russian attacks. This comes after Russia unleashed a massive overnight assault, firing 363 drones and 8 missiles into Ukrainian territory. The Ukrainian Air Force claims to have shot down 359 drones and 6 missiles. However, despite these defences, strikes managed to hit Starkovskaniv in the west, a city that houses a crucial Air Force base. Meanwhile, Russia seized control of 2 more settlements in East Donetsk, even as Ukraine claims to have halted a Russian advance in the Sumy region on the same day. The Russian Defense Ministry said its forces captured the villages of Novosherkiv and Shevchenko in the last 24 hours. It adds that troops struck Ukrainian air defense radars, drone production sites, storage depots and ammunition warehouses across 152 locations. In a major shift in US-Iran relations, President Donald Trump's administration is considering a plan to allow Iran access to as much as $30 billion to build a civilian nuclear energy program. This, according to a CNN report, comes days after the US bombed 3 of Iran's key nuclear sites, Isfahan, Fordow and Natanz, alongside Israel under Operation Midnight Hammer. US envoy Steve Witkoff allegedly discussed the plan in a secret meeting with the Gulf partners last week. The deal would involve Gulf allies, not the US directly, funding a non-enrichment nuclear program for Iran, contradicting Tehran's long-standing demand to enrich uranium for energy. The package could also include lifting certain sanctions and unfreezing Iran's access to $6 billion in foreign accounts. One IDEA reportedly involves replacing the underground Fordow site with a new civilian facility. Trump has said talks with Iran could begin next week, but Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has denied any such plans. Meanwhile, reports claim Iran moved over 400 kilograms of uranium to a secret location before the strikes. Trump says the strikes obliterated Iran's nuclear sites, but some reports suggest the program was only delayed. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has dismissed those reports, saying he's seen no evidence of a moved stockpile. Now we move